Welcome back, grade 8s. Today we're going to look at how to record transactions in the cash receipts journal of a service business by using the manual 8-column journals. I've realized that some of you have never worked in these journal books before, so the different columns might be a little bit daunting. So I thought it best for us to take an exercise. In this session, we're going to look at the CRJ. And then I will also upload another video where we record the transactions in the CPJ, just so that you can get familiar with the different columns. So in order for you to do this exercise, you need your journal book, your 8-column journal book, and then activity 1, where we are going to look at the transactions of fit and fix repairs. This is on your Google Classroom Drive, so you can just get the exercise there. Now we're going to look at the different columns. The book that I'm using, you'll see the bigger column. Most of the columns are small. Those are our money columns. There's a bigger column at the beginning on the left hand side, and then there's another one towards the end where we're going to have our sundry account section. I have previously also shown to you on a different video that we also have 8-column books that look like this one, where you can see there's a very big column on the left hand side, but nothing on the right hand side. But as I've shown with just the normal heading explanation, we can just make a plan over here where we use this part for the details, folio, and then the amount. So I'm going to work in the first book over here when we record the CRJ. So let's have a look. How do we do it then manually in our journal books? First of all, grade 8, it's very important. We need to start reading right from the top because lots of information is given to us. Please don't just jump to the transactions and start right away. Okay, so it says to us that we need to read the instructions carefully, and then we need to complete the transactions in our journal book or on the answer sheet or worksheet, but we're now going to work on in our journal book, and then we need to close off the journal, the CRJ, at the end of the month. The information given to us: Tommy Showers, a handyman, started fit and fix repairs on the 1st of March 2020. So that's important. There's the name of the business and the name of the owner, and it tells us that the business does general repairs. So you're going to enter the transactions in the cash receipts journal of the enterprise. And then they tell us that the total of all cash received is deposited daily. Now that's important when we work with more than one amount that we receive on a daily basis, and then that we only take it to the bank once a day. Then they tell us provide the following analysis columns for CRJ1. So they even give us the number of the journal, analysis of receipt, bank, current income, and sundry accounts. Okay, so how do we label our columns? Let's start here from the left hand side. Right at the top, we always write the heading for our journal. And grade 8, it's very important when we do accounting that we work precisely and meticulously, because that's what accountants have to do. We are working with money here. It's important to keep proper record. So you can write here at the top activity 1, then the name of the journal. So we're going to do the cash receipts journal of, then we know we need to write the name of the business, and this one is fit and fix repairs. Then we make a dash and we write the month and the year. So they told us it is for March 2020. And then towards the right hand side over here, we number our journal. Now that is important for reference purposes. If at a later stage we need to go back and check entries that were made in our journal. So that's why we number them, and then you can underline your heading. Okay, so let's start with the different columns. The very first column in your CRJ is called the document number column, and that is where we will record the number of the source document that we have for that specific transaction. The next column is the day on which the transaction took place. Then we have the bigger column, which is the details column. Here we write down from whom did we receive the money, or why did we receive money. The next little column is a folio column. You can just label it, but we only use it when we get to grade 9s. or grade 9. The first column in your CRJ will always be your analysis of receipt column. Now this is, and we've explained it before, is our till in the business. So all money that we receive in the store, in the shop, we first put in the till, and then at the end of the day, we take out all the cash and we're going to, or money, and we're going to put it in our bank account. Right, so that's the next column that I told us to open. Analysis of receipt, bank, and then current income. Current income, we're going to write in this column if we provide a service and people pay us cash for that service that we've rendered or provided. Now you'll see there's some more money columns left. In grade 9, we will add sales, cost of sales, debtors control, and in your higher grades even more. But for now, these ones will stay open. You're not going to use it. We normally allocate columns in our journals for transactions that take place or happen on a frequent or regular basis. All right, and then towards the end of your journal, this part we use for our sundry accounts. Now, what does this mean? It just means, so any transaction that I can't write in a column, there isn't a column for that transaction, I'm going to write in the sundry accounts. And that's usually transactions that do not happen that often or take place that often. So your bigger column you use for details, because here we're going to write the name of the account. Once again, there's a folio column. This one we'll deal with a bit later in grade 8 when we do posting to the general ledger. And then we have our amount column. Okay, and then you once again underline so that your work looks neat and tidy. Right, and then you are ready to start with the recording of the transactions. Now, I'm just going to fold the paper like that, and then I'll move it around so that you can actually also see as I'm doing the transactions. So on the 1st of March, it said here, the owner made a capital contribution of 60,000 Rand directly into the business's bank account via EFT. So our business, remember, we always look at every transaction that we record from the business's point of view. So our business received 60,000 Rand from the owner via EFT. So that means he didn't come and give us the money in store. He paid it over directly from his bank account to the business's bank account. So where will we see this transaction? Where would it be reflected? Yes, on the bank statement. So if we draw a bank statement, we will see that that money has been paid into our account. The day is nice and easy. That's the 1st. Then they said the owner paid that money over to the business. So where did we get the name of the owner? Right here in the beginning. See, that's why your information is, sorry, there you can see, is important to read all of that. So that is Tommy Showers. So that we write in the details column. Now, grade 8, did the owner give us the money in the shop, in the store? Did we receive it from the owner? No. So we cannot put it in the till column, in the analysis of receipt column. That money we received directly in our business's bank account. So it goes into the bank account, in the bank column. Then you ask yourself, why did we receive this money? Yes, because the owner made a capital contribution. The owner gave that money as capital. Is there a column of the bank for capital? No. So then we need to go to the sundry accounts. And in the details, pardon, we write the name of the account. In this case, it's capital. I know that it says capital contribution, but the name of the account in our general ledger is only capital. And we leave folio for now, and we write the amount 60,000. And then you are done with the first transaction. Now, something that you need to always check for me, grade 8, is if there isn't perhaps another transaction that took place on that day. So always, before you carry on, just double check. It's got to do with bank, and we'll see it now with the next transaction. So there isn't another one. We move on to the 3rd. Service fees received for repairs to a building, 650 Rand. Issued receipt 001 to H Hall. So there we have our receipt or our document number. So 001, the day is the 3rd. We do have a name from whom we received the money. Then we can put it in our details column. Now, did this client come into the store to pay? Yes, because we issued the receipt. So it means we received the money and we could put it in the till. So therefore, it goes into analysis of receipt. Wonderful. Now tell me, if you check, you can see that there was another transaction for this business that took place also on the 3rd of March. So we cannot now go and put the money in our bank column. Why not? If you have a real business one day and you get a client who comes in, pays you cash, and now you put the money in the till, do you just wait for the client to get out of the store, then you grab that money out of the till and you run to the bank to deposit that money and run back? No, we don't do that. We wait until the end of the day before we take the money and then go to the bank to deposit. So we first leave it in the till and we complete the rest of the transaction. Why did we receive this money? Because we repaired a building. So we provided a service and therefore it is recorded in the current income column, 650 Rand. Good. Let's move on to the other transaction on the 3rd. The cash register roll showed 1,400 received from customers for repairs done in the shop. So there is our document. Now it doesn't have a number. Some textbooks do say CRR 012 or whatever the case might be. Then you can put the number down. CRR is more than sufficient for me. Other textbooks also speak about CRT, cash register type. That's the same thing. Or they make a little tick like a right mark, so that is also resembling the cash register roll. The day we do not repeat because it's still the 3rd. Now they didn't tell us from whom we received the money, maybe multiple customers, so we can just say the reason why we received this money is because we rendered services rendered. We definitely received the money in store in the till because it's recorded on the cash register roll, so it goes into the analysis of receipt column. Now we check, was there another transaction on this day? No. So how we show that it's the end of the day and that we are taking the money out of the till is like this. We draw a line and then it shows now, okay, we closed it. Well, we took the money out of the till, we closed the till, and now we take the money to our bank account and we're going to record it in our bank column. So what do? You add all the amounts for that specific day and you go write it in your bank column. So 650 plus 1,400 and we write it on the last line. That will be then 2050. Right, now remember, we're back to this amount. Why did we receive this 1,400? Because we rendered a service, and that is called current income. So every amount that we are working with, or every transaction that we're working with, the amount must be recorded twice in our journal, once in bank and then in another column. So you know that this 2050 is made up of these two separate amounts. Okay, on the 19th, repairs rendered to customers according to the cash register roll, 810. So once again, cash register roll, the date is the 19th. We provided a service, services rendered. We received it according to the cash register roll, so it definitely goes into our till. Then we check, is there another transaction on this day? No, so I can draw a line to close the till and take the money to the bank, 810. Why did I get this money? Because I rendered a service, 810. Good. On the 30th, Tommy Showers decided to increase his equity by depositing another 5,000 Rand to the business's bank account. So once again, definitely it is shown on the bank statement. The day is the 30th. It's Tommy, the owner again. So Tommy Showers, right? Leaf folio. Did we get that 5,000 in our till? No, we didn't. So we put it straight into our bank column. Why did we receive this 5,000 Rand from Tommy? He gave it as an additional capital contribution. So is there a column for capital? No. So I go across to my sundry accounts. Capital, leave folio for now, and this time it is 5,000. Right, happy with that. Can you see that there? Good. The last transaction for the month is on the 31st. According to the cash register roll, I just want to make sure that you can see it there. According to the cash register roll, 1,500 was received for repairs done. So we are once again entering CRR. The day is the 31st. Services rendered in my details column. Leave folio for now. Did we receive the money in the till? Yes, because it was recorded on the cash register roll. So 1,500. Was there another transaction for that day? No. So I can draw a line to say that this is the end of the day and I'm now taking the money to the bank. 1,500. Why did I receive this money? We've done repairs, so therefore it falls under current income. We've rendered a service. Okay, grade 8. This is how we then record transactions in the CRJ. One thing that I don't think I've mentioned in the beginning is you can see that I've never in any of the money columns have I written a capital R to indicate rand and cent in front of my amounts. The reason for that is we know that these columns indicate money. So you can just write the figure or the amount down. You do not have to put the capital R. Firstly, it takes up a lot of time if you have to write that R all the time, and secondly, it actually makes it difficult to read or to see the correct amount. So leave it out. We know this is money that we are working with. Okay, all that is left for us now is to close off the journal as the instruction asked us, or the instructions asked from us. So what do we do now? We total our money columns. Now you'll see I only total bank and current income on this side. I do not draw total lines for analysis of receipt. Why not? Can you see that all the money that we did receive in the till in the store, we took to the bank? So at the end of the month, there's nothing left in analysis of receipt. All that cash was deposited in the business's bank account. So therefore, we will never total analysis of receipt. Now you'll see there's some open columns here as well. You can draw the line across, or you can just go to the end and draw in the total lines then for your sundry accounts section right at the end. Okay, so what do we have to do now? Now we need to total our columns. So you can double check me. 60 plus 2050, 8110 plus 5,000 plus 1,500. I get 69,360. Let's check current income. 650 plus 1,400 plus 810 plus 1,500. That gives me 4,360. And then if I go to the end, that's fairly easy. We can see that 65,000. Now, so what is the rule for our columns after we've added it, just to double check if we've done the calculations correctly? Our bank column must always be equal to all the other money columns. Now, in this case, there's just two others, but that will help you to check if you've done your calculations correctly. So if you take 4,360 plus the 65 at the end, this is now fairly easy, you do get 69,360. Then you know, guys, that you have added your columns correctly, and then you can finish off your journal. Okay, so this was then how we record transactions in the cash receipts journal of a service business in a manual journal. In the next session, I'm going to show you that we are just going to skip a line or two and then continue with our cash payments journal for fix and fit and fix repairs. Right, grade 8, I hope this helped you a little bit and that you're now a bit more confident about what to put in each column and where each column goes in your manual 8-column journal.